Good morning. Today is NFL Sunday. Let's get it, man. NFL Sunday. Let's get it. Hey, morning, man. Morning. Hey, my two-team parlay that I dropped in college football cash yesterday. La Tech plus the one and Buffalo plus the points. Buffalo won outright. And La Tech won the game outright too. So I gave you some winners today. This week in college football week 5. I gave you winners. Now today is NFL Sunday, and we try to come back again today, man, with some more winners. Right now, the Jacksonville and Atlanta is playing right now. It's 10-0 Jacksonville in the second quarter. Man, it was a lot of ups and downs yesterday. With my personal parlays, my clients went 4-1 on my college football parlay. Went 4-1. My one loss in college football was with my clients parlay was the Syracuse. I had Syracuse plus the points. No, I said take Sam Houston State with the points. Now I'm talking about my two-team parlay that I dropped Monday. I dropped a two-team parlay Monday. It was Louisiana Tech plus the 1, and then Buffalo plus the 2.5. That was my two-team parlay I dropped. That was on Wednesday. Then I came back Thursday and told you to take BYU. Was it BYU? No, that was Friday. It was BYU, Oregon State, BYU, Oregon State. What's the other team that played? I ain't got the schedule right in front of me. But I gave out it was a 14 parlay that I gave out for Friday, and all of them came through. Then Thursday was the Sam Houston State game, where we lost the game in overtime. That was the game where Sam Houston State was up a touchdown with 19 seconds left, and they gave up a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Shit. Yeah. I told you, Louisiana Tech, man, that was locked. Louisiana Tech was locked. That Buffalo game they went to overtime, and you know what I'm saying? Like, Buffalo and Akron are two terrible teams. Two terrible teams. You know what team I was disappointed with yesterday? Out of all the teams that played in college football yesterday, there's one team that I was very, like, I don't even want to see them on TV no more. That's how disappointed I was with them yesterday. And that's the Nebraska Cornhuskers, man. Nebraska Cornhuskers, man. I can't believe that they didn't even show up yesterday. Like, you can't tell me Nebraska showed up yesterday, man. They gave up from the beginning. The coach messed the game up when he got all the way down to the 5-yard line, and it was 4th and 1. And what he's supposed to do is kick the field goal and keep playing the game. He went for it and didn't get it. And then Michigan get the ball, go right down the field, score a touchdown. Nebraska is one of the sorriest programs that I've ever seen, man. For real, man. Them guys ain't fighting for that coach, man. They ain't fighting at all, man. There's no way. Michigan is not that good for you to be losing 42-7. Like, they ain't that good, man. Michigan is a good team. Don't get me wrong. They're a good team. They're a good team. But I'm saying the way that y'all lost yesterday, there ain't no fight, man. I ain't see no fight. I ain't see no fight at all out of Nebraska. It was like once they got down, they just tapped out. It's like, oh, we done. We done. We done for the day. That's why I like Deion Sanders, man. Colorado was down 34-14. And they just kept fighting. Yeah, they lost the game, but they fought though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see some fight, man. I want to see some fight, man. Some fight, some heart. Show me that you want to at least try to win the game. You know, at least show me that, man. And I didn't see that from Nebraska, man. That was terrible, man. That was just, it was terrible performance. It was a terrible performance. And I would never back Matt Rule ever again. I would never back him again. I'm fading Nebraska for the rest of the season. I'm fading y'all, man, because y'all don't fight. Y'all don't fight. Nebraska don't fight. Once they get down a couple of scores, they tap out. They tap out. That's why I like Deion Sanders in Colorado, because they could have tapped out being down 34-14. They could have tapped out. But they didn't. They kept fighting. They kept fighting. They kept fighting. They kept fighting. You know what I'm saying? They showed they got fight over there. Yeah, they lost the game. Okay, they lost the game, but they didn't get blown out. They didn't get blown out like Nebraska got blown out. They made Michigan look like national championship contenders yesterday. Like they made Michigan look like national championship contenders. And Michigan, every time they get to the college playoffs, they go down in the first round. So I don't want to hear shit about no goddamn Michigan. Michigan ain't showed me shit. They ain't showed me nothing. They just showed me that you could beat Ohio State and make it to the college playoffs. And then when you get to the college playoffs, y'all be content by making it to the college playoffs. You don't even show up for game day. You lost to TCU in the first round the one year y'all went. Then you went again and ran into Georgia, laid all the way the fuck down. Didn't even show up in that Georgia game. Went all the way to Atlanta, Georgia, and got your ass whooped. And then I want to talk about that performance from Jamal Charlo last night, man. This guy just showed up for a check, man. He showed up for a check. He did not show up to win. He did not show up to win. And then he gonna say after the fight, "Oh, I should have been more aggressive in my approach to the fight and shit." Like, I'm just looking at him like just shaking my head and shit, because I just can't believe it. Like, man, you showed up for a check. That's all you did. You showed up for a check. You didn't try to win or none of that shit, man. I should have known when I seen the press conference and he was all being all nice and showing Canelo hella respect. And, you know, it's all buddy. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be best of friends as soon as this fight over with. We're going to go to Vegas and watch the fights, or go to Vegas and watch the NFL game Sunday. Like, they was too goddamn buddy doing the whole press conference, doing the build-up week, all that shit. It was too much buddy shit when you supposed to be here to fucking destroy this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? It was too much buddy shit. It was too much nice shit. You know what I'm saying? It was too much of that shit. It was too much respect, all that shit. That should have told me right there from the press conference. Okay, Charlo just here for a check. He ain't here to win. He ain't here to win and shit. And then you go out there and you didn't do nothing, man. You didn't do shit, bro. You didn't do nothing. You didn't do nothing. Here I am backing you. I'm backing you. I'm putting money on you and shit, thinking that you could beat Canelo. And you didn't do nothing, bro. You just showed up for your check, and you showed up for the fight, and that's it. That was it. That was a pathetic performance from the Charlo, man. That was fucking pathetic, man. And Derek James, that he's another Derek James fighter. It seemed like all Derek James do is just talk. Like, y'all ain't doing no type of improvement in the gym. Can't sit here and tell me you doing improvement in the gym, and then when fight day come, you get your ass whooped. Your boxers are getting stopped. Like, so Derrick James, man, you need to change whatever the hell you was doing. You need to change that shit, man. And you better be glad Frank Martin didn't go through that fight with Shakur Stevenson because he was gonna get decapitated by Shakur Stevenson. So that was a good move by Frank Martin pulling out in that fight because he was gonna get his ass whooped. But if I'm a boxer, I'm not signing up with no goddamn Derrick James. Only thing Derrick James does is take losses. That's all he do is take L's. Talk a whole bunch of motherfucking good talk, but then when fight day come, his fighters go out there and they get their ass beat. They get their ass beat. So I don't want to see no Derrick James. I don't want to hear about no fucking Derrick James. None of that shit, man. You know what? Another thing too. I'm glad I didn't pay for the fight. I'm so motherfucking glad I ain't paid for that bullshit, man. You know what? I would have been disgusted if I'd have dropped any money on the fight as far as ordering the fight. The fight they had it listed at $84.99. And I was laughing like a motherfucker when I saw that price. I'm like, I'm not giving you $84.99. Right? I'm not giving you that. I live stream that shit. Straight up live streaming. If it ain't a fight that I want to see, I'm not paying you no money. I don't care if you drop it on pay-per-view. I'm not paying you $1. If you put some bullshit on pay-per-view and say, oh, it's pay-per-view, I'm going to stream that shit. I'm not paying for nothing. Not a Crawford in the Spence fight, I paid for that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I wanted to see that fight. You know what I'm saying? All this other shit they keep putting on pay-per-view, I'm not paying no money to see none of that crap. I wanted to see Fury against Usyk last year. Now they sitting here talking about, oh, it's signed, oh, they gonna fight. See, this the BS in boxing. They gave you 2 dates for that fight. They said December 23rd, and then they said in January. Like, that's straight up BS, bro. That's straight up BS. I need to know a date. It should be one date. One day. Not no, oh, December 23rd or January or February. That's some BS, man. They running game on the masses on that fight, man. That fight ain't going down, man. Until I see Fury and Usyk in the ring, then I'll believe that shit. I'll believe it then. But until then, with all this fake shit and coming out talking about, oh, the fight is signed and all this, and I don't want to hear none of that shit. Until I see both of y'all in the ring, that's when I'll be like, okay, this is for real now. But until then, it's straight fugazi. That's all it is fugazi. Straight fugazi. And they always get the masses with that. They come out and say, oh, they said that shit a year ago, said, oh, Fury and Usyk is signed. They're going to fight in November. And then November come and we don't get no fight. We don't get no fight. We don't get no fight. Now they sitting here talking about December or January. I ain't paying for the shit. Whenever the fuck y'all do decide to get in the ring, I ain't paying for it. That boat done sailed a whole long time ago when I was trying to get y'all this money for this fight and y'all didn't make that fight. So I'm going to stream that shit too. I'm streaming that shit. I'm streaming it. We ain't paying for nothing, man. We ain't paying for fights that I don't want to see. Fights that I think that's going to be lopsided. I'm not paying for that shit, man. And these promoters, I thought pay-per-view was dead. I thought pay-per-view was dead, man. People need to wake up and start buying them a motherfucking fire stick, bro. You know what I'm saying? Fuck giving these boxers $89.99 when they fighting against scrubs. Like, all they doing is robbing the fans and shit. If you paid for the fight, you got robbed last night. Canelo robbed you last night. Charlo robbed you last night. If you paid for that fight last night, you got robbed, bruh. You got straight up robbed. $84.99 and shit. Man, you kissed my ass with that, man. It's crazy as hell, man. Crazy, man. But let's get back to this NFL Sunday, man. I just had to get that off my chest, man. That fight was pathetic. Charlo should have stayed at home. You know what I'm saying? You just showed up for a check. I don't want to see you no more. I don't care who you fight next. None of that shit. I'm not following you. None of that shit. If your name come up, I'm turning the goddamn channel. I don't want to see your motherfucking ass because you put some bullshit out there. You made me think you was coming to win. I'm thinking you coming to win. You just came for a check, bro. You just came for a check. You just came for a check, bro. So I'm so glad I ain't give them. They didn't get no $84.99 from me. And for the people who paid, I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you, man. You know, I feel sorry for you. No, this 2023, 24, man. We ain't back in 1999, the 1990s, where if a fight was going on, you couldn't watch it unless you ordered the fight. Nah, man, they got hella streams out here, man. Hella streams out here, man. You need to go find out where you can get you a stream, man. To where you ain't got to pay for these fights, man. Like this 23, 24, man, everything wide open now. They got streams for everything. You ain't got to pay for nothing. If you want to watch NFL Sunday Ticket, they got a stream for that. If you want to watch the NBA Season League Pass, they got a stream for that. If you want to watch UFC, they got a stream for that. Like, whatever sport that you want to watch, they got a stream for it, and you ain't got to pay for nothing, man. You ain't got to pay for nothing. And see, what people don't understand is because they don't know where to find this at. All you got to do is just do a little research on Google. Google will take you straight to all the streaming sites, man. It's a million streaming sites streaming whatever you want to look at. It's out there. All you got to do is just go do some research and you can find it. It's easy to find. You ain't got to pay for nothing. Jacksonville touchdown. They turn it up overseas, man. 17-0. Jacksonville turning up overseas. Man, the quarter moving fast too, man. It's only like 4 minutes left in that quarter. Quarter moving real fast. But you know, Jacksonville, one of them teams, man, they'll start off hot, and then they'll fold in the third and the fourth quarter. So until Jacksonville, you know, get this win, like you got to get the win first before I could be like, okay, Jacksonville, y'all for real and shit. Because that shit y'all put out there last week against the Houston Texans, that was some straight BS, man. That was some straight BS. How you lose to C.J. Stroud and he a rookie, man? This what I be talking about. Trevor Lawrence been in the league almost 5 years, man. You can't be losing to no rookies, man. Especially in your division. Like this guy's in your division. You've been in the league 5 years. You should never lose to no rookie, man. Like you should never lose to a rookie, bro. That's like losing to Anthony Richardson in his first game. You lose to him. And he just got in the league. Shit, ain't no first half spread for the Colts. Shit, -1. Or +1. Ain't no value in +1 and -1, man. I don't even know how the odds makers gonna be putting those type of spreads out, man. What the hell we gonna do with 1 point, man? What you gonna do with that? Like, what we gonna do with 1 point? The game ain't gonna end. They gonna lose by 1 point. That's not how it's gonna go. You either gonna lose by 3 or 7 or 10. 1 point ain't shit, man. That's nothing. Nothing. I'm done with baseball until to the playoffs. I'm done with baseball. Today, the last day of baseball, last day of regular season, and I'm glad about that shit. I'm so happy that today is the last day of regular season because I'm ready for the playoffs to start up, man. I'm ready for the playoffs to start up. You know, today, the last day, the teams that's favored these guys, they might not even show up today. On the last day of baseball, they might not even show up, bro. You put your money on these teams, they might not even show up today. So, cause it's the last day of baseball, they ready to hit the road and go on vacation. So I ain't putting no money on them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might do a Charlo, just show up for a check. They might do a Charlo, just show up for a check. We don't care about the game. We ain't trying to win the game. We just showing up because it's a check. And no, I'm not doing it. So I'm gonna wait till regular season. I mean, wait till playoffs. Playoffs come around. I think playoffs start next weekend. Next weekend, playoffs start. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be heavy in the playoffs. You know, I'm gonna have a whole bunch of plays for playoffs. You know what I'm saying? But this last day of regular season, man, just say you might as well just put whatever you was gonna put on baseball, put it on the NFL, man. Put it on the NFL, man. Don't give baseball your money on the last day of baseball. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that, man. Put your money on the NFL. At least you know that these guys in the NFL, they're gonna come to play. They ain't just coming for no check. They're gonna come to play. You know who else I like today? Hey man, I'm thinking about I like the Arizona Cardinals with them 14 points, man. You can't give no NFL team 2 touchdowns, man. I don't care who you is, man. You can't give no NFL team 2 touchdowns. That's not how it works. You don't see spreads like that in the NFL. So when I see a 14-point spread, I'm not laying no 14 point. I'm not sold on Mr. Irrelevant and the San Francisco 49ers or shit. I'm not sold on them. The jury's still out on San Francisco. It's still out. I'm not sold on Mr. Irrelevant. I ain't sold on Brock Purdy. I know you getting these wins because your schedule is soft and you ain't played nobody for real. So I'm not sold on him. Not sold on him. And I don't care if you is at home. 14-point spread in NFL. You know, it's hard to lay 14 points in the NFL, man. It's hard. So when I see a 14-point spread, I'm taking Arizona with them 14 points. And I'm going to take Arizona on the money line just in case if they beat San Francisco today. Because I saw it was at plus 650 on the money line for Arizona. So I'm gonna put some money on that, on the money line, and then we definitely gonna take them 2 touchdowns with the Arizona Cardinals. You know, that's just crazy right there, man. And we got some marquee matchups coming up in college football next week. We're gonna have Oklahoma, Texas. Oklahoma, Texas. They both been looking good. Texas looked good. Oklahoma looked good. They beat Iowa State by 30. Arizona didn't cover the spread. I mean, Washington didn't cover that big spread last night. It was a 20-point spread. They only won by a touchdown. They didn't cover. Fresno State didn't cover. They was a 25.5-point favorite. They didn't cover. Alabama covered. That was a sneaky cover, you know, because Mississippi State is trash for real. Like they bottom of the barrel. They down there with Mississippi State down there with Vanderbilt. You know, Mississippi State and Vanderbilt on the same level. They on the same level. And what's up with LSU's defense yesterday, man? Like, that's crazy, man. I thought LSU had 5-star athletes down there, man. I thought LSU had 5-star athletes on the defense, man. And y'all gave up 55 points yesterday to Ole Miss. The same team that I seen Alabama destroy, you lost to them. And you gave up 55. 55 points to Ole Miss, man. That's pathetic, man. That's pathetic, bro, for real. That's pathetic. That's pathetic. I just can't wait until I can't wait till Oregon play somebody. Oregon keep playing all these scrubs. I need to see Oregon play something real. They play Washington in 2 weeks. I can't wait for that matchup. They got to go to Washington too. I can't wait for that matchup. I need to see them in some real work. I need to see Michigan play somebody real. Quit. They keep playing all these cupcakes in the Big Ten, man. Nebraska, Northwestern, like these cupcakes. I want to see them play the Penn States. Like, when does Michigan and Penn State play? You know, when do Michigan and who else? Let me see. I could say Maryland, but I ain't got no faith in Maryland because they're a home team. Anytime they go on the road and play one of the top teams, they don't never show up. They don't never show up, especially Tua, brother. He don't never show up. And I think this Saturday he got to go to Ohio State Saturday and shit. And watch, he don't show up in Ohio State. He gonna be turning the ball over. He gonna look terrible in Ohio State, man. He gonna look terrible. I can see it now before the game even start. Ohio State probably gonna beat Maryland by about 30 or 40 points, man. 30, 40 point victory coming for Ohio State. But we happy that, you know, we had winners this week in college football. You know, we're going to jump in the lab once these spreads drop. They ain't going to drop the spreads till probably like after the first games in the NFL. So I'm going to say about 1, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, something like that, 4 o'clock. But we're going to be in the lab for week 6, man. Just Syracuse. Syracuse was my major loser this weekend. Syracuse. Like, they showed up and it seemed like Syracuse was working with Clemson. Turning the ball over, just giving the ball to Clemson. Just giving it to him. Like, the guy went to do a jet sweep and the running back, like, couldn't catch the ball. It's an easy jet sweep. Just turn it to the left and toss it to him. And he couldn't even catch it. And Clemson jumped all over it. Touchdown. They made Cade Klubnik, they made him look like Heisman Trophy winner yesterday. He looked like a Heisman Trophy winner yesterday, man. Syracuse is pathetic, man. They pathetic, man. Pathetic. I thought they would have put up more fights. Same thing with Nebraska. You ain't put up no fight. You just laid down. Straight up laid down, man. Laid down. So Nebraska, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, Syracuse. Who else? Nebraska, Syracuse. Shit, Michigan State almost beat Iowa last night. Iowa came back and won that game. With all those teams I'm fading. Now, Georgia State, they lost last night. They got blown out by Troy last night. Georgia Southern is the team. Georgia Southern is the team. Georgia State, they got blown out last night by Troy, and Troy ain't even all that. App State is a good team, but they don't cover spreads. Same thing with Marshall. Marshall a good team, but don't cover spreads. Texas State covered the spread last night. James Madison covered spreads. Depends on how many points they get. All right, you got to see how many points they're going to give you. Because Georgia ain't covered a spread all season. All season. Georgia is 0-4 against the spread. 0-4 against the spread, man. If you've been betting against Georgia, you up. You plus money every week. So I hope the odds makers don't give Missouri something crazy. Something crazy. I hope it's something crazy, like a 28, 29, 30-point spread. I hope it's something crazy like that. Because Georgia, they ain't been covering these spreads, man. They ain't been covering these spreads, and I thought they were supposed to lose last night. They were supposed to lose last night, man. And it just lets me know how weak the SEC is, because Georgia keeps skating by all these teams. They just keep winning. They keep winning, keep winning. And everybody else just keep losing and shit. And I can't wait till next year to where all those cupcake teams, you can't schedule those cupcake teams next year. All right, you can't play Southwest Missouri State in week 3 or week 4 of the season next year. Nah, it's all about big boy shit. That's why I like the way they realigned the SEC for next year. So Georgia gonna have to play Alabama in the regular season. You don't get to skate. Oh, we don't have to see Nick Saban until the SEC championship. Nah, you gonna have to play Nick Saban in the regular season. Like, I never understood how the hell Georgia get to go unscathed and not have to play Alabama in the regular season. Right? They play everybody else, but then ain't no Alabama on there. Like, the scheduling, it seemed like Georgia scared to schedule Alabama in the regular season. They scared, man. They scared. But it's all out the window next year, because Georgia will have to play Alabama next year in the regular season. There won't be no more seasons of going 12-0 without seeing Alabama. So we'll see what the odds makers gonna make that spread in the Missouri Georgia game. It's plenty more marquee matchups, but I'm really interested in that Oklahoma Texas game. Like that's gonna be 12 o'clock kickoff. They kick that off at 12 o'clock, just like Ohio State and Michigan. 12 o'clock kickoff. Oh, it's 17-0 Jacksonville. Atlanta need to go find them a quarterback, man. I keep trying to tell people Desmond Ridder ain't that quarterback. He ain't that dude. Desmond Ridder is not that dude. I seen Desmond Ridder up here. I'm from the Midwest. Desmond Ridder played for the Cincinnati Bearcats. I sat up here and watched him for 4 years, man. I watched him for 4 years. And he's a mediocre quarterback at best. Mediocre, bro. The guy is mediocre, man. I think if the draft class would have been stronger at the quarterback position, he wouldn't even got drafted. He wouldn't even got drafted. I seen him play against Alabama. He couldn't do nothing against Alabama. He couldn't read the defense. He couldn't go over the top. He couldn't do nothing. So I'm like, if he can't beat Alabama, and this is college, if he can't beat Alabama in college, or at least be competitive with Alabama in college, what you think he gonna do in the league? Nothing. That's why they sitting up there with a goose egg right now. ATL got a goose egg on the scoreboard right now because you got Desmond Ridder as your quarterback. He's garbage. He's straight up garbage. I like Liberty, man. Fuck Sam. Fuck Sam. Sam Houston State. All right. They let me down this week. They let me down, man. Up 7 with 19 seconds left, and you give up a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Now I can understand you give up the touchdown, but the 2-point conversion on top of that, like I'm done with them. We fading them for the rest of the season. Sam Houston State getting faded for the rest of the season, man. Like 19 seconds away from cashing, and up in flames. Up in goddamn flames. But they talking about the Miami and Buffalo matchup today. I like the over because there's going to be a lot of points scored in that game. I like the over in that game. I got to see the spread on it. I got to see the spread on it. You know, it's easy to talk about the games when you don't see the spread. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to see the spread first. But if Miami go up here to Buffalo and if you lose to Buffalo, man, then that's gonna tell me Miami ain't for real. You ain't for real. Them 70 points that you dropped last week, that's some bullshit. If you don't go up here to Buffalo and beat Buffalo, you ain't got to drop no 70. I ain't say drop 70, but I'm just saying go up there and win the game. If you go up here to Buffalo, you let Josh Allen blow you out of the stadium, then that's going to tell me Miami Dolphins ain't for real. They ain't for real. If they go up here to Buffalo and get blown out, you ain't for real. Deshaun Watson shoulder ruled out today versus the Ravens. This breaking news. Last game of the night. Last game of the night was Nevada and Fresno State. Nevada covered. They covered that 25.5. They covered. Arizona covered. Arizona was a 19.5 point underdog. When it kickoff, they was a 20-point underdog. The only team that didn't cover at late night was Mississippi State. They was a 14-point underdog, and they didn't come close to covering. Mississippi State is a bad team. They on the same level as Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is a bad team. You know, Vanderbilt is 0-4 against the spread this season. They ain't covered one spread. And I mean, Vanderbilt be getting 15, 16, 17, 18 points, can't even cover that. That's how garbage they is. Miami and Georgia Tech. Yeah, man, Georgia Tech. How you lose to Bowling Green yesterday, man? The same Bowling Green team that I just seen the week before get destroyed. They got destroyed by somebody. Like, they got destroyed by somebody last week. And then Georgia Tech, you at home, Bowling Green come to your house, and then not only did they win, they blew you out at Georgia Tech. They beat Georgia Tech by 18 points yesterday. Like, that's crazy. Like, how the hell you favored? Georgia Tech was favored by 22 points. The spread on that game was 22. And you lose the game. You lose the game outright. You lose the game. You get blown out. Man, LSU ain't got no damn defense. I had LSU on one of my parlays, and I needed them to come through. I had them on the money line too, man. And the defense was atrocious, man. Atrocious. How you give up 55 points to Ole Miss? It's the same thing with the USC defense. How you give Colorado 41 points? That's Let that sink in, man. Colorado scored 41 points on USC yesterday. That defense is hot garbage, man, for real. USC defense is hot garbage. Anytime they run up against, as soon as USC run up against a team that got an explosive offense, they gonna lose. They gonna lose. They gonna lose. USC don't know nothing about no goddamn defense. You know, it seemed like LSU, they didn't show up. First of all, when the game started off, they was down. I think they was down 28-7 before they even started playing. You let Jackson Dart throw all over the field on you. He looked like Caleb Williams yesterday. Caleb Williams, man, this motherfucker threw 6 touchdowns on Colorado defense. Colorado, I know it's Deion's first year. It's his first year, but goddamn, man, they can't stop a nosebleed up there in Colorado, man. They can't stop a nosebleed, man. The offense is okay. It's the defense. They like USC. They all offense, and when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, don't nobody know what they doing back there. They don't know what they doing. They don't know, man. I gotta see the spread, man. I ain't laying no points with Colorado. So if Colorado the favorite, I ain't laying no points with them. Hell no. Not with that defense. With that defense, no, I'm not laying no points with them, man. I know they're gonna be the favorite because they at home against Arizona State, but I'm not laying no points with Colorado with that defense. No, no. That defense is atrocious. Same thing with USC. USC won't make it to the college playoffs because of that defense. That defense is atrocious, man. Atrocious. I mean, they was giving up touchdowns left and right. The quarterback running up the middle for a touchdown. Like, I mean, he get all the way. Deion Sanders' son ran up the middle on USC, went 30 yards, and ain't nobody touching. Ain't nobody touching. He walked straight in the end zone. Like, so you got to start looking at Colorado for nothing but overs. Like, just take the over in the Colorado game. Whatever it is, just take the over because they don't play no defense. I don't know, man. I don't know. I got to see spreads. You know what I'm saying? UConn fought yesterday. I thought UConn was gonna get blown out because at one point of the game they was getting blown out. They came all the way back, tied the game up in the fourth quarter with like 30-something seconds left. All they had to do was hit the extra point, and they go into overtime, and the kicker missed the extra point. UConn loses by 1 point, 35-34 yesterday on the extra point. The kicker missed the extra point. I don't know. It's too early right now to be saying who you like. You know, it's too early, man. You got to see spreads, and then I got to do research. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing the matchups, but no, I'm not. I'm not sold on nothing until I see spreads, and then I got to do my research, and then I can tell you who I like. But until then, I can't tell you who I like. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow looked at all right last week. You know what I'm saying? He got a win. He wouldn't 100% Joe Burrow, but he got a win. That's all that matters. You got to win. And they played the Tennessee Titans today. What can I say about Tennessee, man? Tennessee is pathetic, bro. They is pathetic. Man, that's just the nature of the beast, man. You know what I'm saying? That's just the nature of the beast. A team will get blown out in the first half, and then you know what I'm saying they'll go into halftime and make adjustments. You know what I'm saying? It's all about adjustments. And I didn't see no adjustments in that Nebraska game yesterday. Matt Rule is a terrible football coach. You don't get all the way down to the 5-yard line and it's 4th and 1, and you go for it instead of kicking the field goal. Now he messed that whole game up yesterday. It was 4th and 1 at Michigan's 10-yard line. He was supposed to kick the field goal, keep the momentum going. You got momentum on your side, you know what I'm saying? He went for it and didn't get it. Didn't get it. 4th and 1, they couldn't even get 1 yard. And they was at the 10-yard line. They couldn't even get that. And then they asked the coach at halftime, like, what happened with that play on 4th down? He talking about, oh, we came to win. We're here to win. Like, we're here to win. We're not here just to play. We're here to win. And I'm like, man, you ain't here to win. If you was here to win, you would have kicked that field goal. Like, pathetic, man. And see, your kids didn't even fight for you yesterday. Those kids up there in Nebraska, they didn't even fight for you. They just laid down. They laid down and let Michigan do whatever they wanted to do. Whatever they wanted to do. Even the backup quarterback came in and threw for 2 touchdowns on your defense. You let the backup come in and get 2 touchdowns. So Matt Rule in Nebraska, trash. That's all I can say about them. Trash. Trash. At least Dion, at least those kids up there in Colorado, they fought. Like I've said, they could have laid down 34 to 14. In what was it? Third quarter? Yeah, it was third quarter, 34-14. You down 20 points. Anybody would have laid down, like, oh man, we down 20, we can't come back. And none of like, they fought, man. They fought. And I didn't see no fight in Nebraska. I didn't see no fight in Nebraska. Once they got down, they just gave up. They gave up, man. And if I'm a football coach, I would have been pissed off about that shit. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see fight. I don't care what the scoreboard is. I want to see fight. Like the game 0-0. So yeah, today NFL Sunday, man. We about to get it, man. What time is it? All right, it's 11 o'clock. You know, they still talking. They talking people head off on all these NFL stations. I'm ready for game time, man. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready for game time. What the NFL should have did, they should have had that Jacksonville and Atlanta game on TV right now. You know what I'm saying? They should have had that game on TV right now. And then, you know, people would have tuned in to watch that. And then once that was over with, 1 o'clock would have came, and then that's when everybody else would have played. Like, you know what I'm saying? The NFL dropped the ball on that, man. They dropped the ball. They dropped the ball on that shit. They dropped the ball on that, man. They keep putting all these games on these crazy networks and stuff, and all I gotta do is just go to my stream and I can go see whatever. Like, it don't matter where they put the game on. If you put the game on Peacock, I got a stream to get to Peacock. If you put a game on NFL Network only, I got a stream for NFL Network. If you put the game on the station I ain't got on my TV, I got a stream for that. So it don't matter where they put these games at, I got a stream for it. So for people out here paying for YouTube TV, for the NFL ticket and all that stuff, man, like if you just do some research, man, you can watch all that shit for free, man. You ain't got to give them people nothing, bro. Not a damn dime. That's for the people that's not up to date on streaming. That's for them. If you don't know what you're doing when it comes to streams, then you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to pay. I'll be damned if I give YouTube 64.95 a month just to watch an NFL game when I go to my stream and it's free all day, every day. That's another thing too. They streaming games at the theater. Like they streaming college football games at the theater, like people ain't got TVs at home. They sit here talking about come to the theaters and watch this football game. Why would I come to the theater and watch a football game when I could watch it at home on my big 60-inch TV in the peace of my home? And I don't have to be next to somebody that's over here being all loud on their phone, talking on their phone while the game on. You know what I'm saying? I might want to get me something to drink or something like that. You can't drink liquor in there. I can't get a shot of liquor at the theater. I can't do that in there. So it just be blowing my mind, man. The ways that these people be trying to get money out you, man. They want you to go to the theaters to watch a college football game. A college football game that's coming on regular TV that you can watch in your house, in the quietness of your home, around the people that you love or whatever. But they want you to leave your house, come to the theater, pay me $24.99. Ain't nothing free in here. Popcorn ain't free. Drinks ain't free. It'd be different if the theater was like, hey, if you come to the theater and watch this game, we're gonna give you unlimited popcorn. We're gonna give you unlimited drinks. You know, we're gonna give you unlimited refreshments to come to watch this game. No, you gotta pay. I gotta pay for drink. I gotta pay to get in the door. Then I gotta turn around and pay for drinks. I gotta turn around and pay for something to eat. Gotta turn around and pay for some popcorn. I gotta turn around and pay for some candy if I want that. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I'm like, man, I would never, ever go to a theater to watch a college football game. Like, theaters are supposed to be for exclusive shit. You know what I'm saying? Exclusive stuff. Not no regular college football game. Oh, we gonna show the NFL game today. Come on through. No, I'm not coming through. But you got people that'll show up for that shit and be shelling out money. Like, and I'm like, you ain't even thinking about the concept of this shit, man. You got a TV at home. Why would you leave your house to go to a theater and watch a goddamn college football game or an NFL game? Why? But you got people out here that be doing that. And I'll be laughing like, man, like, you know, it's an old saying like back in the day, it's a sucker born every day. And that fall right into an example of that. It's a sucker born every day, man. You know, all my little my channels for I was watching for this NFL. Everybody wanna okay, they back on. I'm about to say, like, how the hell everybody on commercial? Hey, that Chandler Jones dude, that dude from the Oakland Raiders, he got arrested, and then the Raiders cut him. He was making all types of crazy accusations, bro. Like that dude, he got some mental stuff going on, man. He was saying some off the wall stuff, bro. He was saying that coaches was putting out hits on people and stuff like that. Like I'm talking about, I ain't talking about no football hits. I'm talking about real life, like go kill somebody type hits. You know what I'm saying? Like he was saying shit like that, man. He was saying all types of stuff, man. Then he got arrested, like, and then Las Vegas, the Raiders just cut him. They cut his ass. All right, they cut his ass. Jimmy Garoppolo out today. We got Aiden O'Connell will start today. Jimmy G was terrible last weekend, man. I mean, he was straight up pathetic. 3 picks, 3 turnovers, Jimmy G. He was pathetic, man. Atlanta just scored a touchdown. 17-7, Jacksonville in the third quarter. There's 11 minutes left. But Jimmy G was pathetic last weekend, man. I mean, he was straight up garbage. And they say he in concussion protocol. I don't believe that shit. I think they did a quarterback change and said it was a concussion protocol. Because he didn't get hit. I didn't see him get hit in the head. I didn't see Jimmy G get hit in the head last week. Like that's just the code. That's just the code word for we changing quarterbacks. Concussion protocol. We changing the quarterback. Jimmy G, you was goddamn terrible. 3 motherfucking interceptions. Then you follow that up. That's coming off of what you did in Buffalo. You threw 3 interceptions in Buffalo. So in 2 games, you turned the ball over 6 times. Yeah, it's over with for Jimmy G, man. It's over, man. That little fairy tale land, that little fairy tale story that you wrote on when you was in San Francisco, and then you was winning in San Francisco because you had all this talent around you, and you still couldn't get the job done. Still couldn't get the job done. Had all that talent in San Francisco, get to the Super Bowl, and missing throws, turning the ball over. I mean, he was pathetic, bro. Jimmy G was pathetic. Hey, the Chargers, Joey Bosa out, Austin Eckler doubtful. I don't think he's gonna play. Right. I don't think he's gonna play. I don't think Austin Eckler gonna play. He's been doubtful for the last 2-3 weeks, man, and he ain't played. That defense is atrocious. Look, they give it up 450 yards a game. Quarterbacks are passing for 337 yards a game on them. They dead last on first downs. I mean, that defense is atrocious, man. You sit up here paying all these guys. You paying Khalil Mack. You paying Joey Bosa all this goddamn money, and you ain't getting no production out of these guys. It reminds me of a guy right now that's playing in baseball right now. They try to tell me he was the best player in baseball. And I'm like, how is he the best player in baseball when I ain't never seen him win nothing in baseball? How is he the best player in baseball? If the best player in your sport ain't winning no championships, how is he the best player in your sport? And that's Mike Trout. Mike Trout for the Los Angeles Angels paid this man over $400 million, and he ain't won you no championships. You got to the playoffs one time with this guy, and what he do? He got swept. When he got to the playoffs, he got swept. He only been to the playoffs one time, and he been up there in LA 10 plus years, and he getting paid $400-something million. And they try to tell me he the best player in the sport. And I'm like, man, how? It's the same thing with Ohtani. How is Ohtani the best player in the sport when he don't get no wins? How, man? Just because he can pitch and he can hit the ball, that makes him the best player in your sport, then your sport watered the fuck down. Because Ohtani ain't getting no wins. It's all about wins and losses. At the end of the day, it's all about wins and losses. And the whole time Ohtani been out there in LA with the Angels, all I've been seeing is they just been losing every year. They sell that shit to the fans. Oh, the Angels, they're gonna make the playoffs this year. They're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. And what they do, they at the end of the season, they going home just like everybody else going home. And you sit here talking about Ohtani, he's worth $600 million. How is he worth $600 million when he can't even get you to the playoffs? How? That's an overpay. That man is not worth no $600 million. He can't even get you to the playoffs. So any team, if I'm a GM of a baseball team, I'm passing on Ohtani. I'm not giving you no $500 million, man. For me to be mediocre, for the next 10 years and not win nothing. I'm not giving you $600 million. No, I'm not doing that. Hell no. I'm not having that on my head. No. Nah. Ohtani ain't worth no $600 million. He ain't worth $500 million. Right. He don't get wins. Same thing with Mike Trout. Getting paid all this goddamn money and you ain't producing no wins. No playoff appearances. Nothing. And you get paid max money. I need to see wins, man. And Ohtani ain't giving up no wins. He ain't showing me no wins. I don't see him in the playoffs when the playoffs start up. Ain't no Angels in the playoffs. Ain't no Mike Trout in the playoffs. But these supposed to be the best players in your sport. Your sport is watered down. Yeah. Right now, I like the under 42 because it's 17-7. It's 17-7, Jacksonville. I like the under. I like under 42. It's in the third quarter. If you can get that right now on the live bet, lock that in. Lock that in. Because I don't think Desmond Ritter ain't coming back. He ain't coming back. Desmond Ritter, he's not a quarterback. When you get a team like Atlanta down and your quarterback got to throw the football to get back into the game, I ain't got no faith in Desmond Ritter to throw us back into the football game. He's the type of quarterback, he needs to lead, and then they use the run game to try to squeeze the team for a W. That's what type of quarterback he is. When he down, especially down double digits, and he got to throw the ball to get you back in the game, no faith in that. No faith in that at all. No faith in that. Desmond Ritter is basic. Basic quarterback. I'm talking about he at the bottom. He down there. Desmond Ritter down there with the rookies. He down there with C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson. What's the other rookie? C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson. Man, what's the other rookie name, man? Bryce Young. That's what Desmond Ritter is. He on that tier. You on the tier with the rookies, and you've been in the league 3 years, but you down there with the rookies because you were average, basic quarterback. Basic. That's all you is basic. That's it. You a game manager. That's what he is. That's exactly what he is. Desmond Ritter is a game manager. If you get down double digits, it's over with. Curtains. It's over. Right now, he down 10 points right now. It's over. It's over. They're going to lose that shit. So if I was Atlanta Falcons, I would call up the Dallas Cowboys and I would get Trey Lance. Yeah, Sam Howell too. Yeah, he on that level. Sam Howell, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, C.J. Stroud, and then Desmond Ritter. He down there with the rookies. He's a basic, average quarterback. If they had a real quarterback, he wouldn't even be starting. He would be on the third string if they had a real quarterback down there. They ain't got nobody else. If Desmond Ritter is their best option down there. If Desmond Ritter is your best option, that means you ain't got no quarterback. You ain't got no quarterback down there. Right. If I'm Arthur Blank, the owner of the Atlanta Falcons, I would have called up Dallas for Trey Lance. I want Trey Lance on my team if I'm ATL. Desmond Ritter, he need to be a backup at best. Backup. He do not need to be no goddamn starting quarterback. He ain't no starter. Man, I don't know what to make about Sam Hartman, man. He's been in college for like 10 goddamn years. Sam Hartman been in college for 10 years, man. I don't think he's going to the NFL. I don't think he's going to the NFL because If he had any type of NFL aspirations, he would have been gone. So he ain't going to the NFL. I don't see him in the NFL. When the last time you see a quarterback do 4 years in college? For real, this is like his 5th year in college, 6th year in college and shit because of COVID. They gave everybody two extra years. So he's been in college for like 6 years now, man. Like, I don't think he going to the league. He gonna probably be in the XFL next year and shit. He ain't going to the NFL. NFL, he would have been gone. He would have been gone. There's no way in hell you stay in college for 6 years and then you talking about you going to the NFL. As a quarterback, nah, you ain't going to the NFL. That's why he stayed in college. That's why he went to Notre Dame. He could have had a chance to go to the NFL draft last year, coming out of Wake Forest. And motherfuckers told him, like, nah, you ain't gonna get drafted. You also go back to college. So that's what he did. He went back to college. Like Sam Hartman, he ain't going to the NFL, man. He just a good quarterback in college. That's it. He a good quarterback in college. You know what I'm saying? They almost lost yesterday, for real. They almost lost the dude. He came through clutch on that last drive of the game to win the game. He came through. I give him his props. He came through. But they almost lost that motherfucking game. Yeah, Shedeur Sanders way better than Desmond Ridder right now. And he in college. He way better than Desmond Ridder, man. Way. I mean, 1,000 times better than Desmond Ridder. He'll come in right now and start over Desmond Ridder right now. Like, he'll start over him right now, man. Bo Nix. I ain't sold on Bo Nix. But they ain't played nobody yet. They ain't played nobody yet. I need to see him play when they play Washington, when they play USC, when they play Washington State. You know what I'm saying? I need to see them play them teams. You know what I'm saying? And then I can give my honest assessment of Bo Nix. But right now, I wouldn't draft Bo Nix as my quarterback. Right? I wouldn't draft him. I saw what he did in the SEC. He couldn't get it done in the SEC. So he had to go to the ACC where they don't play. To the Pac-10 where they don't play no defense. They don't play no defense in the Pac-10, man. They don't play no defense in the Pac-10. When he was down there in the SEC, he couldn't get it done. He was turning the ball over. Bo Nix was terrible at quarterback when he was down in the SEC playing for Auburn. They kicked his ass up out of Auburn. He was so goddamn terrible and garbage. He goes to the Pac-10. They don't play no defense in the Pac-10. So yeah, he gonna look real good when they don't play no defense out there. No defense in the Pac-10. They don't preach defense in the Pac-10. They preach offense. That's all they preach in the Pac-10 is offense. They don't preach defense. SEC, Big Ten, they preach defense. Hey, Michael Penix, he gonna be a top 5 quarterback. It's gonna come down between him and Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, he looked real good yesterday, man. 6 touchdowns. Look, Shedeur Sanders threw 5 touchdowns yesterday and ran for 1. Desmond Ridder can never do no shit like that. He could never throw for 5 touchdowns in a game. Put it like this, Michael Penix gonna win the Heisman if he got to win the Pac-10 for him to win the Heisman. He got to win all his games. He got to be Oregon. He got to be USC. He got to be Washington State. He got to be Utah. He got to go undefeated for him to win the Heisman. He got to go undefeated. He can't take no losses. He got to play good every game. And you got to win every game too. If he win every game, he finishes the season undefeated, he going to win the Heisman. Michael Penny, he gonna win that shit. If he finish the season undefeated, all right. What else we got, man? We got New England versus Dallas. The spread keep dropping. Spread keep dropping. No, I like Joe Mixon over 52 rushing yards. They throwing out props. They had Joe Mixon under 52 rushing yards. Now, I like him over. I like that to go over. Shit, just look at all the garbage teams. Let's look at all the garbage teams in the NFL. The Jets need a quarterback. Jets ain't got no quarterback. Zach Wilson is. I talked about Desmond Ritter. I'd take Desmond Ritter over Zach Wilson. Like, at least Desmond Ritter give me some wins, man. Zach Wilson ain't. Man, Zach Wilson, I don't even know how he's still in the league, bro. Like, real talk, man. I'd have waved his ass by now, man. I would have waved him, bro. I would have waved Zach Wilson, man. He is straight garbage. They play Mahomes today. Good luck with that. You just gotta look at all the teams that need a quarterback. The Jets need a quarterback. Denver Broncos need a quarterback. Who else? Minnesota Vikings need a quarterback. Kirk Cousins washed. And you already know Arizona Cardinals need him. They need him. They need a quarterback, man. There's a whole bunch of teams need a quarterback, man. You know what I'm saying? Until you get a quarterback, you can't even build a team if you ain't got a quarterback. You can't even build a team up, man, for real. Quarterback is the most crucial position on a football team. And if you ain't got a quarterback, you ain't gonna win a lot of games in the NFL. Ask Bill Belichick. Ask Bill Belichick. What's life without Brady? Life without Brady means losses, L's, a whole bunch of them. When the spread first came out in that game, in the New England and Dallas game, it was a 7-point spread. I seen it high as 7.5. Now it dropped from 7.5 down to 5.5. I don't see no value in 5 points, man, in a NFL football game. So I always tell my clients, like, if you gonna place a bet on a team and you see the spread like 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, go on buy it up to the full touchdown. Pay the little extra to get that full touchdown, man, because you're gonna need it. Because, like I said, games end in 3, 7, and 10. So 3.5 points, it can come in handy. It can come in handy if you got two good if you got two good teams, 3.5 points can come in handy. But this 2.5 and 5.5, and I'm like, there ain't no value in 5.5. You might as well buy it up to 7. Most people don't do that. They just take whatever the odds makers give you. If the odds makers give you 2.5, they'll take it. I'm like, ain't no value in 2.5. Ain't no value in 2.5. So when I see a 2.5 point spread and I want to take that team, I'm gonna take the spread all the way up to 7. Like 2.5 points, what I'm gonna do with that? What I'm gonna do with 2.5 points? Games don't end in 2.5s. You don't see teams losing by 2 points. All right. It's either 3, 7, or 10. But the average gambler don't know that. Right. They just take whatever the odds makers give them. Like, oh, I'll take it. Like, nah. That's the good thing about having the alternative line. If your book don't offer you the alternative line, then you need to go to a book that got alternative lines, because that's how you can win with the alternative line, man. It's there for a reason, so you might as well take advantage of it. It's there. It's there. Especially when you spend it. If you wagering $25, $50, $75, or $100, buying some points ain't gonna do nothing. That ain't gonna do nothing if you dropping 50, 75, or 100. Buying a couple of points to get it from 3.5 to a full 7. Sometimes I might go to a 7.5, because I'll be thinking about, okay, what if they lose by a touchdown? Then you'll get a push. You get your money back. I don't want that. I want to win the game. So I put the hook on there. I'll make sure I get the hook, and I got the 7.5. Because what if they go into overtime? You know what I'm saying? What if they go into overtime and you sit up here with 5.5 points, and they in overtime, and the team get a touchdown, you lose. You lose with them 5.5 points. They get a touchdown and your team don't come down and get a touchdown, you lose the game because you lost by 7. And you had 5.5 points that the odds makers gave you. All it took was a couple of dollars, and you could have bought it up to 7.5, and you would have won that bet. So shop around, man. Shop around. Always take advantage of the alternative line. Same thing with the alternative totals. Take advantage of that, man. It's there. Take advantage of it, man. That was a total game changer when they added the alternative lines and the alternative totals into the sports book, man. That's a game changer right there. You don't have to take what the odds makers give you. I can buy up or buy down if I want to. That's a game changer, man. And you need to take advantage of that, man. Like I said, if your book don't offer the alternative lines or alternative totals, you need to go to a different book. I told you the book that I work with is DraftKings. I work with DraftKings and FanDuel, but I don't work with the books. That's just where I place my bets at. I'll be looking at these channels on YouTube, these cappers that be having these sponsors. And every week, man, they be giving out losers all day long, man. They got all these sponsors. Oh, I'm sponsored with this book. I'm sponsored with this book. I'm sponsored with this book. And you giving out losers. Losers in the NFL, losers in baseball, losers in college football. I mean, just loss after loss after loss, man. And these guys they working with these books. That's why I said, if you go to somebody's page and they tell you, oh, I work for this book. Oh, I work for this book over here. You can get 25% off your purchase if you put this code into the to the book and they'll give you 25% off on your deposit or whatever, man, you got to look at those guys with a side eye, man. Anybody that work with a book, you got to look at them with a side eye because the book be telling these guys who they want to take on a spread or whatever. So the book will pay them. The book will pay them and tell them, like, look, we want you to take, for example, I'm going to give you an example. The Steelers and the Texans play today. Say they got a whole bunch of money on the Steelers. So the book will tell them, look, we want you to go online and tell everybody to take the Texans plus the points, knowing damn well it's going to be a loser, but they'll put that out there because, you know, they're getting paid from a book. I don't want to be no hater. You know, hey, I can name a whole bunch of names on here, man, on YouTube that be doing that shit, man. They give out losers every day, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a couple of them. I'm gonna give you a couple of them on here that I'll be seeing every day, weekly. They always give out losers. They might give you one or two winners. They might give you one or two winners. One of them is I don't know if you heard of it. I don't know if you heard of this page, but it called Tony's Picks. Tony's Picks. Tony's Picks, and they be having different type of cappers on there, giving out plays. These guys be giving out nothing but losers, man. Like, I've been watching these guys for years. Watching them for years. And my assumption, I ain't seen no winners. I seen a couple of winners, like one or two or three winners. But I'm talking about these guys give out plays on every goddamn sport. And this shit be losers. Now I'm going to give you another one. Wager Talk. I was saying, Wager Talk TV or something like that. There's a couple of cappers on there that be giving out losers every week. Like straight up losers. And they be on YouTube with a serious face talking about take this team right here. This is great value on this team. And then when the game comes, it's a fucking loser. But they work for a book. They stationed in Las Vegas. They getting paid from a book to tell people to take these plays, knowing damn well they losers. And they stay on YouTube all day long giving out losers, man. All you got to do is just go to their page, like today. Go to their page, see who they like today, write it down. Write down who all they said is winners. Write it down. And then wait till game time come and see how many winners you get. See how many winners you get from these guys. Like, I know you can't win every time. I understand that. It's part of the game. A loss is part of the game. Okay, I understand that. But goddamn it, sometimes you got to give motherfuckers winners, man. You can't keep giving people losers every goddamn day, man. Nah, yeah, I'm dead serious, man. Look, all I'm doing is speaking facts, bro. I'm speaking facts. I'm not just sitting up here assumption or making something up. I'm speaking on facts. These guys give out losers. They give out losers, man. That's why I'm always worried of a capper that goes over every goddamn game in all sports. Like, then I'm like, I can't even trust you because you talking on too many games. It's too many games for you to be sitting up here capping on every game. Like, these guys cap every goddamn game. I'm like, it's too many games in college football. It's too many games in the NFL for you to be capping. A real capper are only going to cap a certain amount of games. They ain't going to go up there and just go through the whole board with you All right, these guys sit up here, they'll go through the whole board with you. Like, oh, we're gonna go through college. We're gonna go through every college football game. We're gonna give you a play on every college football game. Then they're gonna go to the Major League Baseball and give you every play in baseball. Then they go to the NFL and give you every play in the NFL. And I'm like, hold up, man. Real cappers don't do no shit like that. Real cappers don't sit up here and talk about every game on the schedule. A real capper is sit back, look at the landfill. Okay, I want this game. I want this game. I want this game. You know what I'm saying? You keep it short and simple. You trying to cap every game on the schedule? I know you giving out losers. You can't cap every game on the schedule. Even if you do got a point spread and all that shit. You can't cap every game on the schedule. And you steady sending her, oh, we giving out winners, we giving out winners. I'm like, how? 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 How you giving out winners? How? Because every time I see your shit, I see losers. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real, man. I see losers. I see losers. I got more winners than y'all, and y'all work for a book. You got somebody paying you, and I got more winners than y'all. And I don't get paid from nobody but my clients. I don't work for no book. Remember I told you a long time ago, I said books, they was trying. Pick dogs, they be on their shit sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Pick dogs, you can get some winners out of pick dogs. Tony T, hey, I wouldn't take none of his plays face value for real. Like, that shit be losers. That shit be fucking losers. And he'll cap every game on the schedule. He just be throwing shit out there, man. Like, real talk, I just think that dude just be throwing shit out there. Like, he don't do no research on these games, man. You can't be doing no research on these games and you keep throwing out losers every goddamn day. You can't tell me you doing research, man. He ain't doing no research. Tony T ain't doing no research. He just going off. He just throwing shit out there. That's all he doing is throwing shit out there. He ain't doing no research. So that's why I said when I release plays on my page, I do research behind my work. I ain't just throwing plays out there. And I'm not going to sit up here and cap the whole goddamn schedule. Not unless I'm getting paid. Now, that's totally different. Now, if you paid me to cap the whole schedule, I'm going to give it to you raw and uncut. I'm going to give you winners. If I'm getting paid to cap the whole schedule, I'm going to give you winners. I ain't going to be like the rest of these other guys. You know what I'm saying? So I do research behind my plays, man. I do research behind my plays. I don't think those guys do research. They just be throwing shit out there. And I'm like, how the hell, how's you a capper, man? And 75% of your plays are losses. Even in your free plays is losses. I'm like, come on, man. How you gonna have people come shop with you if you out here giving out losers? People want winners. They want to win. You know what I'm saying? Don't you want to win when you put in a play? You want to win. You ain't putting in a play to lose. But these guys do it all day, every day. Like I said, college football, NFL, baseball, name the sport. They got a play out there. It's a play out there. And it's a losing play too. See, I can call them guys, I can call them all out because I don't work for them. I don't know them. You know what I'm saying? I don't work for you. I don't know you. I ain't trying to know you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be buddy. I ain't trying to do none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But if you out here giving out losers, I'm going to put you out there, man. I'm going to put you out there, man. Like, for real. All right. All right. And like I said, they getting paid from the book, so they don't care about giving you losers. They don't care. They getting paid from the book. They don't care. But your average Joe that come on YouTube don't know that. They don't know that. They just think like, oh, he just told me to take Pittsburgh Steelers -3, and then they lose and shit, and then you be sending her salty like, damn man, dude told me to take this play. Like, he worked for a book. What you expect to get? What you expect to get when the guy worked for a book? Sports Pub, yeah, Sports Pub, all right. Jacksonville just kicked the field goal. It's 20-7 with 10 minutes left. Yeah, that shit going under. 20-7 with it's 11 minutes left. 20-7, Jacksonville. Sports Pub TV, they be giving out winners. You know what I'm saying? They give out some winners. Doc Sports, nah, it's a no-go on Doc Sports. They give out losers. They give out losers, man. They give out losers, bro, for real. They give out losers. Sports Pub is good. They all right. You know what I'm saying? They be giving out some winners. I don't went on their page and saw, looked at their work, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a couple of guys that work for Sports Pub. They, you know what I'm saying? They good with their craft. They know what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? So Sports Pub is cool. Doc Sports, that's a no-go. That's a no-go with Doc Sports. No go. If Doc Sports is based out of Las Vegas, they out of Vegas. They a no go. I wouldn't work for them even if they asked me, even if they was paying me, I wouldn't work for them. Because I'm like, man, you got a history of giving out losers, man. I don't want to be associated with a company that give out losers on a regular basis. I don't want to be associated with nothing like that, man. I don't want to be associated with nothing like that. Like, if you ain't giving out winners on a consistent basis, I don't want to be on your team, because I'm looking for winners. I ain't looking for losers. You know what I'm saying? When I go do my capping, I'm capping to win. I ain't capping to lose. So the spread in the Vegas game that went back up, it was at 5.5. Now it's at 6.5 now. Well, VEASAN really don't give out plays. Like, they just talk about the games. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll break the game down. They'll talk about the game. But when it comes to the side or the spread, they be wishy-washy. You know what I'm saying? They be wishy-washy on the side and the spread. But they real good at breaking the game down. I give them that. They good at breaking the game down. But when it comes to the side or spread, they be wish-washy, man. They be wish-washy. And I ain't never heard of Boy Bets. I ain't never heard of them. I ain't never seen they work. So I can't tell you. I can't tell you what they do, because I ain't never seen they work before. I ain't never heard of them before. Covers. I think I'll put Covers in the same boat as Doc Sports. They're a no-go. Covers is a no-go. And remind you, when I go to these guys' pages, I'm not taking their plays. Like, I got my own plays, but I might come on your page just to see what you say about a game or whatever like that. if can you give me some type of information I don't know about this game, something like that. But when it comes down to a play, I don't take no plays from them. I don't take no plays from nobody online for real. Because I do my own plays. I do my own capping. I just might tap in just to see what you say about the game. Can you give me some type of insight that I don't know already? You know what I'm saying? So that's the only time I really like pull up their page just to see, like, if when I'm doing my capping, I want to see if another capper see what I see. So I might tap into somebody's page just to see if they on the same page as me, or if they can give me some information that I can use on my capping. It's cool. Picks and parlays. Shit. Hey, you got to put them. They're in the same boat too. Picks and parlays. They're in the same boat as covers and Doc Sports. I remember when I first started capping years ago. One of the first capping pages that I used to go to when I first started capping was Picks and Parlays. They was one of the first little YouTube channels that I came across when I started capping games, and they was giving out losers too. Like, they was giving out losers like a mug. I'm like, man, what the hell? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, like, the book got to be paying y'all to tell people to take these plays, man, because these plays are losers. Like, so that's why I said, like, just go to their page, like today. Just take down what they think is whatever plays they give you. Just take it down. I ain't telling you to put no money on that shit. Don't put no money on that shit. Just write down their plays and see how many winners you get from them. Write down their plays and see how many winners you get from them. Well, I don't be knowing their names because I don't be watching. I don't watch Pickwise. I don't even know. I seen them come up on my YouTube timeline, but I don't watch Pickwise. I really don't be watching none of them for real, man. Like I said, I tune in every blue moon just to see if I can get some information. Like, I'm not here for their plays. I got my own plays, but I'm here for information. Can you tell me something that I don't know about a game? You know what I'm saying? So I can't tell you about those cappers that you named right there because I ain't never seen they work. So I don't know. I can't speak on something I don't know. But one thing I do know is these guys, they don't be doing their homework. They don't be doing their homework on these plays, man. They just be throwing shit out there, man. They just be throwing shit out there. And it be losers after losers after losers after losers. And I'm like, shit, man, you need to come on over here to the GOAT. Come holler at the GOAT. Come holler at the GOAT, man. They talk about the Cardinals and the 49ers. Dude about to lay 14 with San Francisco. Man, his computer is off. His computer is off. Numbers be off. It's another guy on here that be using the computer to pick plays and shit, and his shit be straight off, man. His plays, his computer be all the way off. It's like let's see, what game did I watch that he was talking? I was trying to think. I think it was it was James Madison. Yeah, it was South Florida. South Florida versus James Madison Saturday. This guy was on. He was on YouTube talking about the game, and then he showed his computer numbers, and his computer numbers had South Florida winning the game by 10 points, and he was like, "My computer numbers say South Florida should win this game by 10 points, so I'm gonna take South Florida with the points." And South Florida got blown out yesterday by James Madison. They got completely blown out. And I'm like, dude, you need to whatever it is that you punching in this computer to give you these numbers, man, you need to throw that shit away because it's not helping you at all. It's not helping you, man. It's not helping you at all. But that was one of the games that he was talking about. South Alabama and James Madison. He was like, oh, because the spread was 3. And he was like, oh, I'm going to take the 3 points with South Florida because my number's right here. And he pulled the screen up and his number said South Florida's supposed to, they supposed to be favored. I mean, they're going to win the game by 10 points. And then they got completely blown out, like blown all the way out yesterday and shit. And I was laughing behind that shit because I had James Madison on the money line. I knew that was locked, but this dude on here, he worked for a book. Matter of fact, he worked for multiple books because I seen him on a couple of people's pages. And he worked for multiple books, and he go from different YouTube channels, be giving out losers like a mug, man. And I'm like, the books ain't getting mad at him because they paying him to throw out losers. You know what I'm saying? Like they paying him to throw out losers. The book don't want you to win. They don't want you to win. The book don't want you to win. They want you to lose because they want that money. The books want the money. They don't want to pay you. You know what I'm saying? That's not what they want to do. They want to collect. So every day, you got people coming on YouTube giving out plays that work for sports books, and they be giving out losers all the goddamn time. I'm gonna say about at least 80% of the time they giving out a loser. The early brothers. Nah, I ain't never heard of them. I never heard of them, man. So that's all I'm saying. Like, if you go to somebody's page and they tell you they work for a book, man, don't take them plays like it's gold. They work for a book. Do your research. You know what I'm saying? Don't just take, these guys' plays that work for books. Don't take that shit for face value, man. Don't take that shit for face value. You got to look at them with a side eye. I ain't never heard of Odd Sports. Damn, boy, you be on. I see now, boy, you be searching like crazy for plays, man. I ain't never heard of none of these people you talking about. Odd Sports. I ain't never heard of them. I ain't never heard of them because I don't be on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I don't be on YouTube looking for no plays. I come on YouTube to see if somebody talking about the game. And like I said, if you can give me some information that I don't know, then that's a plus. But half these people that's giving out plays that work for a book, they don't research these plays. They just throw this shit out there. They just throwing shit out there or what the book told them. The book told them to tell you to take this team. They ain't doing no research behind this shit. How can somebody do research behind it when they giving you 60 goddamn plays in college football? How the hell he doing research, man? You know how long it take me to do research just for 10 games? Just 10 games. It take me all day to do research off 10 games. So you sit here giving out plays on 65 college football games. I know you ain't doing no research. I know you ain't doing no research, man. There's too many games. There's too many games. They just throwing shit out there. That's all they doing, is just throwing shit out there, man. Just throwing something out there and hope that it come through. That's all they doing. They ain't doing no research on that shit, man. No research whatsoever. So as soon as they drop these spreads in college football, like I said, it's gonna be around about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when I jump in the lab, and I will come up with two plays that you can cash out on in college football for week 6, like we did in week 5. Right, no research. You right about that. No research, just perception, plays, and angles. You right about that. A whole bunch of BS. That's all it is. That's all it is, man. But it's 12 o'clock, man. We're gonna get ready for this NFL Sunday. If you ain't got no plays, you need to hit me up. We ready for the day, man. NFL Sunday, let's get it, baby. I hope everybody have a great day, and I hope you win some money.